Hey Tim, Casey out here, finished up the inspection. Got Chad with me. He wanted to take a quick look and just kind of use this opportunity to learn a little bit about pre-drywall inspections and whatnot. Got a few things that I wanted to bring to your attention, so we'll go ahead and get started. A couple things that they haven't yet addressed here at the exterior. You can see the amount of spalling that's happened here. Just that bad vibration from the pour didn't really cover that corner very well with the concrete. We still got the water lines coming in, not 12 feet underneath. I don't think they're going to change that. You've got your cable end that's exposed here. That should have been capped. The interesting thing is that they've got the riser for the electrical coming up over here on the left side of your garage. However, they've got your panel wires over here on the right side of your garage with no riser. This is your plumbing clean out. Now, I assume they're gonna extend your neighbor's riser out to yours so that your wires can come out as well. So hopefully they'll do that before drywall goes up. Here on the inside, we're here in the garage. I'm seeing a couple little things. First of all, you're missing some anchorage bolts, anchor bolts. You can see where this plate pretty much ends. There should be a bolt here on this side, just as there's a bolt here that didn't get a nut or a washer on it. They did drill that one in, but there should be another one drilled in over here, right in the center. Now, over here on this side, you can see this was kind of an issue for them. There is a bolt underneath this that does not have a nut or washer. And there's another one right here that is missing a nut and a washer before you finally get to one that does. So they need to add some additional anchorage here, whether it be adding nuts and washers at places like this, or just go ahead and adding the glue in or expansion bolts, such as they've done already over here. All right, so I'm real curious what they might have said about the width of this wall, because you know you've got 3 stories on here, and I mean, my interpretation of what it says in the code book is that for 2 stories it's supposed to be 24 inches, and I mean, we know it's less considerably. So, you know, maybe if they haven't addressed it, maybe ask again what they might say about that. Even maybe get an engineer sign off on the saying that this width is okay, because it seems pretty narrow to me. They've come in, they've put in the sprinkler, most of the sprinkler system they haven't finished. That's this sort of orangey pipe here. Checking all these hangers. These hangers look pretty good. Didn't see any issues with missing nails, which is a very common deficiency that I call out. And your shear wall here, the nails look spaced 3 inches apart all the way around. They've really filled this thing up with nails, which is really nice to see. So just left of your front entrance is, if you were coming into the house, you got some anchor bolts that should be installed here, another one here. In fact, that one's been folded over. Look at that, flattened. All these exterior walls need to have sufficient anchorage. One other thing I'm seeing is that up here at this awesome 45-degree hanger, you've got the wrong, well, they've installed the wrong, so I can zoom in, the wrong type of fasteners. Screws are not allowed unless they are structurally rated by the manufacturer, Simpson Strong Tie. These look like just the regular off-the-shelf Home Depot screws. So screws are a lot weaker in shear than nails are. They're much stronger in tension, but I'm not afraid of this thing pulling out. I'm afraid of, you know, dropping down, so failing in shear. Now, I'm not afraid of it failing at all, really, but you do have a third story above this, so it's always good to ensure that this is done properly. All right, so stairs. Stairs are not supposed to be more or not supposed to be greater than 3/8 of an inch difference in height. Here you've got about 6 3/4. Second step up, you've got about 7 1/2. So that's about 3/4 of an inch difference between your first step and your second step. Now going up, you can see this one is about 8 1/4 inches, more or less. That's your top step to this first landing. And code is very specific about this. 7 3/4 inches is the highest that you're allowed to go for steps. And yeah, the thing is, as I'd mentioned to Chad earlier, is that stairs are probably one of the biggest dangers in the home. They got to come back in and replumb this shower. It looks like they haven't finished framing it out. So I'm guessing there's going to be sort of a false wall here, and they'll put the plumbing behind it. Because as it is right now, it's inside the living space. So they'll build that wall out, I'm guessing. That just needs to be done before sheetrock, obviously. This reinforcement tie is the wrong size. That's supposed to come out 6 inches past the edge of the cut. You can see how big that cut is there. When your top plate is cut greater than 50%, you need to have this reinforcement tie with 8 nails on either side. You can see they're already missing 2 on either side. So missing fasteners and the wrong size. One other little quick thing that I'll mention is that there should be an 1/8 of an inch gap here at the 4-foot end sections of this floor sheathing. They've got it pretty tight, not anywhere near an 1/8 of an inch. What that does is help to prevent, expansion will happen, but it helps to prevent any kind of buckling or lifting of nails at this end. So here in the kitchen, you've got, man, they just went crazy with the blocking here. This wall cavity is just solidly blocked almost all the way through. Yeah. For what reason, I know not. All the way here into this closet. Right there, you can see it. And yep, there you go. You can see it right there. You're 3 2-bys deep. So what that is going to do is going to greatly reduce the R value, the insulative value of this area that's blocked. You don't have, it's much denser. You don't have the same air space that you have where you've got regular insulation. On top of that, you've got this water line at the exterior wall here that is not insulated. So basically from this point over. So there is a possibility that could freeze. If we have another February storm. I would say definitely talk to the builder about the reason for this blocking, because for the life of me, man, I can't, and let me know what he says, because I can't think of a reason why they should have it here. All right, so at the top of the stairs here at the second story, you've got this beam, which is load-bearing beam. It bears on top of the wall here. I'm talking about this beam here. So you've got this joist bearing on it. You've got this joist bearing on it, this joist bearing on it. Above that is your 3rd story stair landing. The issue is that this beam just kind of hangs out over the end here into the air. Now, it does seem to be nailed up with this 3/8 OSB. They put a ton of nails in it. So while code generally talks about beams needing 1.5 inches of bearing on wood or metal, I don't know of any spot in the code book where it talks about it's okay to hang a beam, which is essentially what I'm seeing here. This is how it looks in the other models as well. I'm guessing that this is an engineered approved installation. So, but just get that confirmation from them. What I don't want to see is over time that starts to sag. You start to feel a little bit of bounciness in this because there's no direct bearing onto a wall or onto a hanger. So see what the engineer says about this. Again, with the steps, you got a short step and a taller step here coming up. here to the third story. Overall, the third story looked pretty good. You got nails here and way over here on the other side. You're supposed to have them every 16 inches on these wooden sole plates. You can see they put in the correct reinforcement tie up here. All the nails needed, all the way across, greater than 6 inches. That's what we want to see down there at the other one that I previously pointed out. One thing I noticed is that that AC line that we were just looking at, it terminates right here. So it does not go all the way to your AC, which is behind the wall of your closet in this space, which is walled off, obviously. So they're gonna have to extend that before they put the sheetrock up here. Otherwise, they're gonna be making holes. And also your solar panel conduit, which is coming up right here and then over. Just as an informational note, it terminates right here. That's that metal tube that is right there. So that is your, if you do decide to install solar, they're gonna want that end so that they can hook it up. A couple other things that I really like is that they've insulated the hot water lines, the small hot water lines, such as this one right here. Now, the code says 3/4 inches or larger need to be insulated, but they say, basically it says you don't have to insulate the small ones, but they did, so I like that. They went above and beyond. So there you go. There's gonna be there's gonna be a few other things on the report. These are some of the bigger items. Overall, it's in pretty good shape, you know, what I would expect from, you know, this builder. And I'll get this report out to you tonight. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.